My poor microphone. The other day, we gotta redo that. The other day, I had the most perfect session on Lake Michigan. Let me tell you about it. It was October, it was like 65 degrees out in October, which is pretty rare here in Michigan. Now, a perfect day in Lake Michigan doesn't come often. Usually that signifies no or very little wind. It's usually like the day after a bigger swell, so the waves are still coming in, which is what happened here on this day. I went out with this board right here, the 4.6 Zapple S. I wanted to take that out because it's got the foot strap inserts to do some airs. So the waves weren't that big, but they were clean and there was no wind. So I thought it was a perfect day to get my feet back into the straps, get used to that again, and go do some airs. So that's exactly what I did. Kalina was on the drone on this day, and she dodged a lot of birds throughout flying the drone. But I had the 1130S front wing set up that day, as well as I didn't have this tail, the tail that I'm using for the mic. I think I had the 165 AR tail, just a bigger tail for a bigger day or for a smaller day. Just wanted to be able to go out there, do some airs, and be able to recover fast with the airs. So I'll take you through it, kind of describe some of these airs that I was doing on this day and what I felt like I was doing right, what I was doing wrong, and then you'll see some 360 attempts at the end of the video where I was feeling really comfortable getting into the straps and everything, so I decided to try some 360s. But yeah, let's dive into it. First things first, got out in the water. It was really difficult to get in the foot straps. I almost completely forgot how to do it, and I was struggling a little bit. I think I had like 5 attempts where I just wasn't getting it. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do this today. But I ended up getting the hang of it, getting used to it again. It's kind of like riding a bike, it took me a couple tries first because I haven't done it in a while, in a couple months. And it was a new board. I didn't know what exactly the best foot strap setup is. I think I would have shifted them back a little bit, knowing what I know now. But I wasn't going to change it. I was already out in the water. And so I decided to just keep at it and trying to get in them. I eventually got it. And I also found that, like you would think, it's way easier to go with the wave and get into the foot straps. It kind of gives you a little more leverage, a little more push for what you need to get in the foot straps. Also, during this day, I was on the foil drive max. I had my Cedrus 80 centimeter max, high power motor, high power battery. I think those two really helped in getting me a lot of run time so I could try a lot of different airs. I was out there for over an hour doing airs. It probably did, I don't even know, 40 different ones. And I had the high power motor. So when I land kind of heavy and I don't pop back up, because if it's a wave that doesn't have as much push, I can motor through it and kind of, use the high power motor to motor through, get back up on foil easily. Where if I didn't have that high power motor, some of those times where I really sink that board, but I'm still on my feet, I might not make it back up on foil just because it's not powerful enough. So super important to get that high power motor for trying airs in smaller waves. Obviously, if it's bigger waves, you usually can just do the air and pop right back up on foil. Had a few of those today, but you really had to be in the perfect spot in order to pop up, do the air, land, and then pop right back up on foil because the waves just didn't have a lot of push on this day. But yeah, showed a couple clips here. We'll show a couple more and kind of go through everything that happened. Another big thing I'm noticing with doing airs with the foil drive in waves in the swell is it likes speed. It likes when you go fast into it. I like to do a couple extra pumps and then really come up off of like the highest peak of the wave and kind of go with it and then land back down. Ideally like in that middle of the wave face. Like you don't want to land too high on the wave. You'll pop back up, but you also might accidentally fall behind the wave and then you lose it. And if you land too low, that's when you land kind of heavy and you might need to have a little extra motor to motor out of it. So finding that sweet spot is like coming off the top, landing in the middle of the wave. I think that really helps for doing airs with the foil drive and with the foil in general. Another thing is just the general pop up. I really like to almost treat it like an ollie with a skateboard. Think like you got to pop the nose and then the tail, right? But if you just try to stay at one mast height and come up, you're not going to really do an air. You need the momentum of coming down first and then popping up to really get the full air time experience. It really likes to pop out of the water if you dive down and then up, as opposed to staying at one height and just trying to pop up. So fluid motion down and up is the way to go, I think, when doing airs with the foil drive. I think I had a few in here where I didn't do that, and you can definitely see the difference on like bigger air versus smaller air when I'm just popping straight up. So yeah, those are my tips for doing airs with the foil drive, with the foil, just in general. Hopefully those help. Hopefully you can see it in this video and really see how I'm doing them to land them the best that I can right now. But this last one here, this one's really cool because I do the air. I think it's like my picturesque air. It's going to be the thumbnail of this video. It's a really good one. And then I kind of wait for the wave to reform. I'm riding it still. And then I go into a 360 attempt. Now, with my 360 attempts, they were kind of 50-50. 50% of them, I would go up, try to spin, and I'd only get a quarter of the way around or halfway around, and then I'd eat it and fall. Or 50%, and the other 50% of the time, I would get all the way around, but I'd kind of go behind the wave on accident. So, like I said before, you need to kind of land in the middle of the wave. But with the 360, the way I'm spinning and jumping up, I'm just coming down behind the wave a lot of the time. So I'm not able to keep back up with the wave, even with trying to motor out of it. It's not working for me yet, but that's the beauty of the drone and getting the clips like this. I can see exactly what I need to do differently, and what can help me improve these skills and hopefully land some 360s with the foil drive soon in the waves. But yeah, so I think if I'm able to do the 360 and land in the middle or even in front of the wave and not turn so much behind and try to go more forward with it, I think I'll land a lot more of these and it'll just lead to being more consistent with them. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just getting out there, being consistent with it. But now it's November. It's booty season out here, so I gotta figure out my strap situation and setup with having boots on. Wetsuit boots becomes a little more difficult, but I'm not making excuses. Hopefully I'll have a few more days out there where I'm trying some airs with the straps on the board. But all in all, been super fun. Hope this video shows you a little bit on what I'm working on, what you can work on, how you can have fun with foil drive in any conditions. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Hope you like my mic, and excuse my messy room. It's a work in progress over here, but thanks for watching.